Bonsoir, Carolina.
Bonsoir.
Bonjour, Ali. Bonjour, Ali.
Bonjour.
Bonsoir, Landon.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, Aria.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, Winter.
Bonsoir.
Bonjour, Amélie.
Bonjour.
All right, so today we are going to start with lots of restaurant vocabulary, and then we're going to be doing some speaking. We're going to be looking at a few different menus in French, and we're going to play different roles today. We're going to practice ordering. Some of us are going to practice being waiters and waitresses, but we're going to be using a lot of the vocabulary that we have learned, and then some we're going to talk about today. So let's take a look at our first phrase. You can see that it has a ... after it because we're going to fill in something here. When the waiter or waitress asks you, qu'est-ce que vous voulez comme? Comme here means a few different things in French. It can mean like, as, or for. So here the waiter or waitress would be asking, what would you like for your drink, for example? So we would ask, qu'est-ce que vous voulez comme boisson? Because boisson means your drink. Let's say your meal has a choice of meat. You can either get chicken or steak, for example. And maybe they ask you, what would you like for your meat? They would ask you, qu'est-ce que vous voulez comme viande? So here it's asking, what would you like? But asking for your meal or your dessert or your drink, something specific that they're waiting for you to order or make a choice on. All right, the next one, who knows, what does bien sûr mean? When someone says bien sûr. Is that new for everyone? Bien sûr is how we say, of course. Of course. So if you order something and ask for something, you could say, je voudrais une pizza et un soda, s'il vous plaît. And the waiter or waitress could say, bien sûr, of course. And when they bring you your food, they would tell you bon appétit. What does that mean when somebody in French says bon appétit? Ali?
It pretty much means enjoy your meal.
Exactly. Very good. It looks like good appetite, right? Enjoy your meal. Good. Let's see the next one. Ça fait. Ça fait is how we would talk about the price of something, the total price of something. Ça fait means it makes or it comes to. Right? So let's say you're just ordering something like 2 crepes, right? At a crêperie on the side of the road. And the total is going to be 6 euros. The person could say, ça fait 6 euros, right? That makes 6 euros, please. Or it comes to 6 euros. They would use ça fait plus a price. The next one doesn't have to only be used in the restaurant world, but since we're learning that, that's how we're going to use it today. Vous désirez means a few different things. It can mean, may I help you? But it can also mean what can I get for you? So if you are ready to order and the waiter or waitress asks you, vous désirez, they're asking what you would like, and then they're asking what your order is. Literally translated, it looks like, what do you desire, right? What do you want, pretty much. All right, the next one is something that the waiter or waitress would say, and it is j'arrive. It looks like arrive, right? Like I'm arriving. J'arrive means that I'll be right back. So let's say you ask the waiter or waitress for some more napkins, right? They could say, oh, oui, j'arrive. That means I'll be right back. So it kind of is deceiving on what it looks like. I'll be right back, or I'll go get that for you, right? That's what that means. Now, the last two on the left side, they kind of mean the same thing. What does this word terminer look like to you? What English word does it remind you of? Link, what's it remind you of?
Terminate.
Yeah, which means what? What's
Take
the
your
synonym?
food.
Well, what does it mean to terminate something?
Get rid of.
Yeah, to be done, right? If something's over, it's done. Very good. So when the waiter or waitress says c'est terminé or ça a été, they're asking, are you finished? Like, are you finished with your meal? Can I take your plate? Do you want your l'addition? Do you want the bill? Right? So that would be, are you finished? C'est terminé and ça a été. All right, let's practice our pronunciation on the left side because we're going to use some of these today in conversation. So for the first one, it's a long question, but let's break it up some. Qu'est-ce que vous voulez comme? Qu'est-ce que vous voulez comme? And then you would put either like your meat, right? Qu'est-ce que vous voulez comme viande? What would you like to drink? Qu'est-ce que vous voulez comme boisson, for example? All right, let's practice, of course. Bien sûr. Bien sûr. So if you are playing the waiter or waitress today, that's something that you can say after somebody orders, right? You could say, bien sûr, mademoiselle. Bien sûr, monsieur. To enjoy your meal, bon appétit. Ça fait. Vous désirez. J'arrive. C'est terminé. Ça a été. All right, good. Let's take a look at the other side. What does this look like to you? What do you think we're asking if we ask, quel est le plat du jour? Winter, what do you think we're asking?
I think they're asking what would you like today? Like what meal would you like today?
You're right. It is about a meal. You're on the right track. Allie, what do you think it's asking?
Would you like a kid's meal?
No. Think about what jour means. Quel est le plat du jour? What's a jour? Winter?
Okay, is it what is the meal of the day, or like what is a special meal or something?
Yeah, very good. Le plat du jour literally kind of looks like the plate of the day, right? It's us asking about the special of the day. So le plat du jour would be what is the special of the day. Good. Now, these three are ones that we're going to use today, and I'm actually going to put them in the chat so they're there for you to refer back to. We're going to practice on a few different menus today, and we're going to practice ordering. All of these are different ways to order. So, puis-je avoir is how we say, may I have? That's a polite way to order. Je vais prendre is saying, I'm going to have. Have you ever used that or heard somebody use that in a restaurant when they're ordering, right? They'll be like, I'm going to have the steak with rice and green beans, please. That would be je vais prendre in French. And then the last way that you could use today is je voudrais, which means I would like. Any of these you can use today. I actually want you to not use the same one each time we practice ordering something. I want you to practice using different ones. So let's practice our pronunciation of these three. The one that starts with a P, we would say, puis-je avoir? Je vais prendre. And then je voudrais. I would like. Good. And the last one, what are we asking when we ask someone combien coûte? Combien coûte? What's that look like there? Winter?
Is it what does it come to, or what how much does it cost?
Yeah, very good. So let's say you're ordering something that's market value, which means that it changes all the time. That's what we talked about with seafood and la bouillabaisse last week, right? So let's say the price for la bouillabaisse just says market price, prix à la saison. You want to know how much it costs today. You could say, excusez-moi, combien coûte la bouillabaisse aujourd'hui? And they would tell you, il coûte or elle coûte or ça fait, either one, to tell you what the price is. We're not going to be practicing price today. We're just going to be practicing ordering. We're going to work on price a different time. All right. All right. Very good. So I put those in the chat, those 3 ways of ordering, and we're going to practice with those today. All right, let's take a look at a menu. So this is an actual menu at a cafe. This is what we would call a cart, right? Because it's something that's posted on a cafe or a quick service place. And this is for petit déjeuner, which they have in English at the bottom is breakfast. Now, I want you to take a look at how the prices are written. If you've never traveled internationally before, you might not know that the commas and the periods on how numbers are written are actually backwards in most places from the way that it is done if you live in the United States. So if you take a look at this board here, instead of saying 6.50 for 6 euros and 50 centimes, it actually has a comma. And so on the prices of things on your receipts, it will have a comma instead of a period.
What if it
And
goes over
then-
1,000?
So that I was just about to answer that. If it goes over 1,000, they put a period instead of a comma. So let's say something cost 1,005 euros, 5 centimes. They would write it 1.005 comma. So it's the opposite. And it's not only France that does this. Most of the rest of the world actually writes their numbers like this. The United States, just like we have a different metric system for everybody else, we sort of change it and we do the opposite thing. So if you ever see that, now you'll know what that means. Also, sometimes the numbers in in writing can look very different if you're not used to them. This is a number 1 here on this board. Okay. And then one other thing to note is that the euro symbol doesn't come in the front. Like a lot of times when we write prices in the United States, we'll write it like this, right? With the dollar sign in the front. The euro sign is going to come actually afterwards at the end. So let's take a look at what our choices are for le petit déjeuner. So you have a choice in this first breakfast choice here. If you get everything that's in here, this is what you would get for 6,50 euros or 6 euros and 50 centimes. You have a choice between café, thé, or chocolat. So this is your choice for a hot drink. You either can choose a cup of coffee, a cup of hot tea, or a cup of hot chocolate. The chocolat chaud is how we say hot chocolate, and they've shortened it here to just chocolat. So you get a choice of a hot drink. You also get a jus d'orange, which is a word that we learned last week. Who remembers? What is jus d'orange? Shara?
Orange juice.
Good. You get a croissant. And then you also get, for this price, you get pain, beurre, confiture. Pain is how we say bread. Looks like pain, but pain is bread. And then we have beurre, which is butter. So it's a piece of baguette with butter on it. And confiture is how we say jelly or jam. So that's what you're going to get for the top one, okay? For the second one, there's something that's taken out of it. That's why it's a euro cheaper, right? You have a choice again between your hot drinks, café, thé, ou chocolat. You get a jus d'orange, and for this one, you just get a croissant. You don't get a croissant and then a pain beurre confiture aussi. Or maybe you just want a small little something and you're not going to sit and you're on the go. For 1,50 €, you can get a croissant ou a pain au chocolat. Pain au chocolat literally translated means chocolate bread. It's not quite just all chocolate bread. What it really is a croissant with chocolate pieces in it that is warmed and melted and very delicious. Allie?
On that last one, there's a 1, then the euro sign, and then 50.
Yep, that's how they chose to write it that time. You're right about that. Very good. Normally, when it's just €1, that's how they write it. If it's just €1, but the top ones are six, like they're €6 and then the €5. That's why the comma's after it. But typically for just €1, they'll write it like that. Good observation, Allie. And then at the bottom of our little cart here, it says bonne journée, which means have a good day. So what we're going to do is for the first activity, I'm going to be everybody's waitress today. So I'm going to be very busy and I'm going to be everybody's waitress. And when it's your turn, you're going to tell me what you would like to eat and to drink. So you're going to kind of pick which one you're going to use. And let's say you're doing the top one. Take a look at the chat. I put the 3 different ways we learned today to order something in there. You can choose one. So you could say something like, puis-je avoir un café, un jus d'orange, croissant, et pain beurre confiture. Now, I don't just want you to order. I want you to interact with me, right? So we're going to greet each other. We're going to say bonjour. I want you to use s'il vous plaît for please. I'll respond to you by saying you're welcome. Of course, I'll be right back. And that'll be the end of our conversation, okay? Any questions on how to say anything or our activity we're going to do before we get started? No? Allie?
For on the first one, the 650, would you, for the bread, would you say pain beurre confiture?
Yeah.
If you're wanting jam, only jam?
So pain beurre confiture, would you just want bread and jam, just not the butter?
Yeah, if you would want that.
Okay, so you would say pain, you could say avec with jam, avec de la confiture, and you can say, if you want to say not something, that you don't want something, you can
Je
use
n'aime pas.
pas de. Like it means
Pas
like
de.
you can say pas de beurre, s'il vous plaît, like no butter, please. Or if you don't like jam, but you want bread with butter on it, you could say pas de confiture, s'il vous plaît. That would be a polite way to say that you didn't want something. That's a good question. Any other question? No? All right, let's get started then. Allie, you're unmuted, so you want to start? You want to go first?
Sure.
Yeah? All right. Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour.
Vous désirez?
Puis-je avoir pain beurre confiture? Jus d'orange? That's all.
Oui? Oh, so it comes with everything in it for the first one. You get all the things. You get a hot drink, orange juice, a croissant, and a pain beurre confiture.
Oh.
Oui, c'est beaucoup, oui?
Oui. Then I'll do au chocolat,
Ouais.
un croissant.
Bien sûr, mademoiselle. J'arrive. All right, so I'll be right back. Very
Merci.
good, Allie. Très bien, de rien, pas de problème. Et Shara, you're going to be my customer next. Oui? Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour.
Vous désirez?
Je voudrais un café, jus d'orange et le croissant.
Très bien, bien sûr, mademoiselle. J'arrive. Oui, I'll be right back with that. Très bien. All right, don't forget your s'il vous plaît, oui, your please, right? And your thank you. So s'il vous plaît and merci. It's okay. We're so focused on, I know, ordering that it's easy to forget. But we're going to try to put that in our conversation, okay? All right, Aria, you're going to be my customer next. Ready? Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour.
Vous désirez?
Je voudrais thé, jus d'orange, croissant.
Ah.
S'il vous plaît.
Ah, bien sûr, oui. Je vous en prie et j'arrive. Très bien. All right, Lincoln, we're coming to you. Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour,
Vous désirez?
des café orange, café jus orange, un croissant.
Très bien. Et
Merci.
de rien, pas de problème. Bien sûr, j'arrive. Très bien. Good. All right, and last but not least, oh no, we have two left. All right, Carolina, we're coming to you. You're going to be my customer next. Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour,
Vous désirez?
je voudrais un chocolat, jus d'orange, croissant, s'il vous plaît. Merci beaucoup.
De rien, bien sûr. J'arrive. Très bien. And last but not least, Winter today. All right, Winter, you're going to be my last customer for this one. Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour.
Vous désirez?
Je voudrais un pain au chocolat.
Bien sûr. J'arrive. De rien, pas de problème. Allie?
Did Habibi get a turn?
She's very sick and doesn't have a voice today. So she's just listening in class today. So, all right, let's take a look at another menu and we're going to do a different speaking activity. So this time we are going to take turns with our partners. One of us is going to be the waiter or waitress first, right? And we're going to do my role like I just did, right? You're going to say bonjour, either monsieur or mademoiselle. And you are going to practice vous désirez. If you are the waiter or waitress, you're going to ask your person vous désirez and they're going to order. And then you're going to switch roles with another partner. But let's take a look at this carte here. Oui, la carte at Le Café Français, the French cafe. When I made it and then I blew it up a little bit, it got a little fuzzy. So hopefully you can read it. Let's take a look at what's a choice. What are the choices on our menu? So under à manger, which means to eat, things to eat, we have des frites, some fries, oui, un hamburger, une pizza, un sandwich, une salade, et le poisson. These are all words that we've learned, right? And then under à boire, to drink, we have une limonade, un coca, un café or un café au lait. Café au lait means coffee with milk, right? You know, lait means milk. De l'eau minérale, mineral water, ou un jus d'orange, orange juice. And then, comme dessert, for our dessert, we have le biscuit, which is just a cookie. Biscuit means cookie. La crème brûlée, le gâteau, cake, et la glace, ice cream. So I want you to pick at least two things. You can pick more, at least two things to order when it's your turn. But you're going to practice with a partner. I want you to practice saying those things. If you were so focused on ordering last time and you forgot to say things like s'il vous plaît or merci, things like that, try to include those words as well, okay? All right, so let's see. We're going to have Ali and Carolina start today. Carolina, you're going to be the waitress first, okay? And Ali, you're going to be the customer first. So Carolina, you can greet Ali first.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour.
Vous désirez?
Je vendais une pizza à boire et limonade.
Bien sûr.
Merci.
You can say je vous en prie for your welcome. Je vous en prie.
Je vous en prie.
Très bien. Good job. All right, this time let's have Shara, you're going to be the waitress, and Carolina is going to be the customer. Okay? All right, so you're going to greet her first.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour.
Vous
Désiré.
désirez
J'aimerais une salade, une limonade. S'il vous plaît, merci beaucoup.
bien sûr.
Très bien. Good. Great use of your words. All right, Allie, you're going to be the waitress this time. And
Okay, I just want to say that vous déjeuner, it looks like what do you desire?
it does, yeah. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Yeah, it looks like what do you desire. It's asking pretty much what you want, right? You're right. All right, so Allie, you're going to be the waitress and Link is going to be your customer, okay?
Okay. Bonjour, monsieur.
Bonjour.
Vous déjeuner?
Je veux un hamburger et un biscuit. S'il vous plaît.
Monsieur. Je
Merci.
veux un point.
Merci. Good. Great job. Good use of your words. I like how you guys are mixing it up a little bit too. All right. And to end, we're going to have Aria and Winter. You both can be partners today. Let's see, Aria, you can be the waitress and Winter, you're going to be the customer. Okay.
Okay.
Bonjour, mademoiselle.
Bonjour. Je voudrais le biscuit and lemonade. I can't pronounce it.
Limonade.
Thank you. Limonade.
Yeah.
S'il vous plaît.
Bonsoir, j'arrive. Bien sûr.
Bien.
J'arrive.
J'arrive.
Merci.
Je veux un
Free. Free. I know, I scribble. Je vous en prie. Very good. That's a very polite way to say you're welcome. So je vous en prie would be in a very formal setting. You would say you're welcome. And then an informal setting, we did this, I think, before spring break. So it's been a while. An informal one for you're welcome would be de rien, which literally means, oh, it was nothing. Don't worry about it. All right, good. So today we focused on speaking and asking what somebody wants and ordering. Next class, we're going to do a little bit more work with prices and asking about pricing and how much things cost. And we're going to continue practice speaking with our food words, okay? All right, I will see you all mercredi. Oui. À la prochaine, tout le monde. Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit.
Oui.